Hi everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. If we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a nice full body flexibility practice. I'm going to use my bolster a little bit today, so if you've got a cushion or a pillow of some kind that you'd like to use too, that would be great. If not, you're really going to need just a little bit of space to move, and let's get started. So let's begin today laying down, and if you do want to lay on a pillow of some kind, feel free to do so. Just make sure you're comfy. Maybe your pillow is long enough to go all the way from your low back underneath your head, or maybe you just have a pillow under your head and your shoulders, or somewhere else, but just be comfy. Find a comfy place. If you do want to make a diamond shape with your legs, you might get into your hips a little bit. You might even keep your knees together, your feet planted. Maybe your legs are going out long. And you might even just rest your arms out wide, let your palms face up. And take a deep breath in and out. Take another deep breath in, close your eyes if they're still open, and a deep breath out. And one more. Nice big inhale, feel your tummy, feel your chest expanding, rising as you fill your entire body up with air. And let it go. Awesome, you guys. Making any last adjustments that you need so that you can just take a few moments here to settle in, to slow down your day, to let go of any thoughts that might be on your mind right now. And just feel the next breath you take, whether you're going to put some effort into a deep inhale or no effort at all. Just feel your breath. Relaxing through your body a little more, and any places where you're feeling some extra love today. And then I'm just going to give you an option to stay exactly as you are. Or we can kind of add a toe curl into this. We'd be trying to rest on the top of our toes. So you might have to lift your heels. Try to rest on the top of your toes. If you're laying on something, it might be a little harder to do this. You might slide something underneath your hips. The higher you lift your hips up off of your mat, the more accessible this might be. And you can also skip this part. But maybe you're able to just bring the bottom of your toes towards the ball of your feet. Stretching the big toe, maybe all of your toes. And if you did go for that curl of the foot, of the toes, let it go again. Plant your feet, give your toes a little bit of a wiggle. And if you were laying on top of something still, I'm just going to get you to sit up a little. Take it out from under you. We're going to come down onto our backs, flat onto our backs. And then you might walk your feet a little closer towards your hips, or even hug your knees in towards your chest. But if you want to take a little rock side to side, go for it. Kind of massaging the low back. And if you're hugging your knees in, just let your feet go back down towards your mat. We're going to send our legs out long here, moving into a banana pose shape with our body. So you can start by shimmying your shoulders over towards the left side of your mat. Keep your hips where they are. Maybe reach your arms above your head. They might be off of your mat over to that left side a little. You can add your legs, same thing, moving them over to the left side. You might cross your right leg over top of the left one to hold your legs in place, or you might skip that part. Just kind of curving your body in a banana-ish way until you feel some love through the legs maybe, the arms, the middle body, anywhere. And just stay for another breath. And before we start to move, maybe pick the legs to move first or your upper body. But find your way back into a nice straight-ish line. You can take a second or you can start to shimmy over the other way. Maybe start with the shoulders. Reach your arms up. Adding your legs. Maybe crossing your legs, just kind of keeping the hips where they were and moving everything else until you start to feel that curve come into the body, the stretch. And just relax, breathe. Stay for another breath. And then slowly come back. Start with your legs maybe, and then move your shoulders and your arms. But find a straight line again. You might be in the middle of your mat. If you want to bend your knees and plant your feet again, you can do that. And if you want to try that toe curl again, you could give your toes a little curl, a little stretch here if it works. Or just skip this part. Maybe rock your knees side to side a little bit instead. Or maybe try to rest on the top of those toes, or maybe it's just the big toe, and maybe the second toe. Maybe it's all of them. If you are curling your toes under, let it go. Plant your feet again. Maybe give your toes a little bit of a wiggle. You can decide if you're going to roll over to one side or rock yourself forwards, but we're going to come up onto our hands and knees into tabletop first. You might give your hips a little rock side to side. We will be making our way into a lunge. So your right foot can come forwards when you're ready for it. If you want some extra cushion underneath your back knee, you could roll your mat over. Maybe you've got a towel of some kind, but sink your hips forwards, sink your hips down like you want to tuck your tailbone under. Kind of send those hips forwards and down. And you can keep your chest low here, your hands on your mat. We're going to be heel toeing our foot over towards the right side. Setting up for lizard. So I want you to turn your foot out so your toes are pointing out on an angle to the corner of the room or your mat. Bringing your hands under your shoulders. Sinking into your hips, letting your hips get heavy. Softening through your shoulders. You can stay on your hands, or maybe you're going to come onto your forearms. or rest your forearms on your pillow. And then if you did come down onto your forearms, just slowly start to come back up onto your hands. And we will just be turning our toes to face forwards. So turn your toes to face forwards. Now your knees next to your shoulder. But the same thing here. Your hands are under your shoulders. You're sinking into your hips, dragon. If you do want to come down onto your forearms, you can give it a try. Maybe rest your forearms on something. But pointing those toes forwards and trying to keep your knee next to your shoulder. Awesome, you guys. If you are on your forearms, come back up onto your hands. Let's heel toe our foot to the middle of our mat. Sink into your hips and then start to send your hips back. Give those hips a break. Find your hamstring. Find your calf. Maybe point your toes up towards the ceiling or the sky above you. Half splits. Drop your chest towards your knee as much as you'd like. Awesome work, you guys. With an inhale, bend into your front knee, come back into your lunge, and then heel toe your foot to the left side of your mat. Lay down your shin. You can bring your heels close to your left hip as you'd like so you feel centered. Take an inhale in your pigeon. Lift your chest. Stay here maybe, or you can tip forwards, find your forearms again, or go even further than that. But just soften through the right leg, soften through your shoulders. Find your breath. Awesome work, you guys. If you're tipping forward, slowly lift back up. We're just gonna push ourselves back into tabletop, onto our hands and knees. So push into your palms. As gracefully as you can, bring your right knee back. Once you're on your hands and knees, you can rock those hips side to side a few times. Shake it out a little. And then bring your left foot forward. Set up your lunge. Left leg forwards, sinking those hips forwards and down, kind of like you want to tuck your tailbone under. Just think about tucking your tailbone under, sinking the hips forwards and down. And keeping that movement, keeping that nice deep stretch for your hips. Maybe roll your mat over if your knee needs some extra cushion. And then we'll heel toe our foot out to the left side. Turn your toes so your foot's on an angle. Let your knee fall out to the side. In your lizard, bring your hands under your shoulders. Let your hips get heavy. Maybe dropping down to the forearms again, or just staying on your hands for a moment. But take a breath wherever you are. Soften through your shoulders. Feel those hips. Awesome job, you guys. If you're on your forearms, start to come back up onto your hands. Take your toes, point them forwards. So your knee is going to come closer to your shoulder when you move your foot. Sink into your hips, dragon. We were in lizard, now we are in dragon. Nice job, you guys. Try to come down a little further if you'd like. Resist letting your knee tip out to the side. Keep it close to that left shoulder. Climbing back up. If you did come onto the forearms, heel toe your foot to the middle of your mat. Move slowly here, sinking your hips forwards and down, and then slowly come out of those hips. Send them back, point your toes up. half splits, maybe dropping your chest towards your knee even more. Awesome work, you guys. You can use an inhale, bend back into your front knee, shift your hips forwards, heel toe over to the right side, lay down your shins, set up your pigeon. Move your front leg so you feel centered. With an inhale, lift. Exhale, feel free to fold a little or a lot, but just take a moment here to soften through the left leg, through the upper body. And just come back to the breath. If you are folding forwards, let an inhale help bring you back up, planting your hands, finding your tabletop in as gracefully as a movement as you can. Rock your hips a little bit side to side. Notice how your legs are feeling so far. And then we will be coming into just a nice comfy seat. So I'm actually going to sit on my bolster. I want you to be able to sit for a few moments and have a nice long spine the whole time that we are here, because we're going to stretch our neck and our shoulders a little bit. So once you are in a nice comfy place, bring your hands to your knees or to your lap. Lengthen your spine and close your eyes. Your chin can start to tip down towards your collarbone, letting your head be heavy. And staying here with our chin tipping down, if you want extra, you could place your hands on the back of your head, and instead of pulling on your head, just kind of let your arms be heavy. The weight of your arms alone, without doing anything with them, might deepen the stretch to the back of your neck. Soften your shoulders. Let your chin come as close to your collarbone as it wants to. If you do have your hands on your head, let them go, but keep your chin where it is. Just let your hands fall back down to your knees or your lap. Take another breath. And slowly, slowly start to lift your chin back up to a neutral place. Move nice and slow here. Pause. Once your head is right over top of your shoulders. When it feels good, just let your head tip over towards your right shoulder. Keep your chin pointing forwards. Once your head's tipping over to the side, you might take your left hand and rest it on your low back with your palm facing away. Letting the shoulder drop from the ear. And then if you want to take this even deeper, only if you feel like you need it, your right hand might rest on the top of your head. And you're not pulling in any way, it's just resting there. And let your shoulders fall from your ears. Feel this all the way from your ear, maybe to your fingertips. If you have a hand on your head, take it off slowly. Leave your head tipping over to the side. And then use an inhale to lift your head back up nice and slow. It might feel really heavy right now. And if you have your left hand on your low back, slide it out. Take a moment, stacking your head right over top of your shoulders. Your neck in line with your spine. And when your head wants to tip over towards the left shoulder, let it be so heavy. Move with as little effort as possible. Just tip your head over. Keep your chin facing forwards. Maybe your right hand finds your low back, letting your palm face away. Dropping your shoulder from your ear a little more. If you want that extra weight of your left arm, your hand can rest on your head. Being nice and gentle here. If you have your hand on your head, start there. Bring it back down to your lap. Let an inhale slowly bring your head up. Nice and slow. If you have a hand behind you, also bring it back to your knee or to your lap. And just notice the sensations running through your head, your face, through your neck, into the top of your shoulders, down your arms. And when it feels right to do so, just open your eyes slowly. Awesome, you guys. We're going to reach our arms out wide. Move slowly here. You can cross your right arm over top of the left. Either hug your shoulders or bring your hands together, your palms together for eagle arms. Trying to create some space between the shoulder blades. Nice stretch through the arms and shoulders. And then let an inhale. Bring your arms out wide. And cross the left over top of the right. Hug your shoulders or wind your arms together more. Creating that space through the upper back. Dropping your shoulders from your ears. And letting an inhale, unwind your arms, and exhale, release your hands back to your lap. You want to take a shoulder roll. Take a shoulder roll. Maybe another one. Awesome work, you guys. From here, if you would like to go and spend a few moments in Shavasana, lay on down, get comfy. If you're ready to carry on with your day, that's cool too. Whatever you need. But thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, namaste.